Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Adriel Two in Love. Recapping as last night's 3-year anniversary of AEW. Good to be back in Vegas. Well, good for Dynamite and AEW to be back in Vegas. Obviously, with the pandemic, etc., it's just good for AEW to be back. Was a hell of a show last night for Dynamite. We had the semifinals between for the Owen Hart Cup on both sides with Britt Baker versus Toni Storm. A stunning outcome, I would say, or a surprising outcome for some. Get my thoughts on that. Wardlow versus Shawn Spears steel cage match. We got some New Japan Pro Wrestling innuendos as to potential start to build for Forbidden Door, which is next month. So there's that. We got Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly in a heck of a match to end the show. Hangman Page, CM Punk. A lot more to discuss, but thank you all for joining me. If you're new to the podcast, you want to see more pro wrestling reviews, you can find them on the descriptions. Obviously, I cover. So, luckily, I don't work on Sunday or Monday, so I will have a AEW Double or Nothing review most likely Monday afternoon, around same time, probably around 2 or 3 ish, depending where you are. But yeah, look for your AEW Double or Nothing review Monday. Of course, doing the Dynamite review now, and then we'll have the Rampage review on Saturday, the final stop before Double or Nothing. But thank you all, and before I get into the review, I have 2 pieces I want to go over. First, so on Monday was the anniversary of Over the Edge and the Owen Hart incident when he passed away in 99. So, part of the reason I changed up the color scheme for the thumbnail was, in retrospect, in honor of Owen Hart, because those are the colors that they have seemingly done for the graphics for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So, then that. Also, I know it's not wrestling related, but they discussed it last night on the Dynamite show, and also I saw it on Inside the NBA, and they covered it, or they discussed it as well on TNT. There was a mass shooting in Dallas, Texas the other day. And it's unfortunate at a elementary school. You know, I don't like, sometimes I just don't talk about these. I just don't like talk these things because sometimes these things just make me hate the world that we live in. And it's just, how idiotical can someone be to do that? It's just unfortunate. But thoughts and prayers with the families of those victims, and things need to change. It's just ridiculous. It's just, I don't know what more to say other than things need to get better. But with that out of the way, let's get into the review now, shall we? So, I was curious as to how the first matches of the show and the main events were going to go, considering we had a steel cage match on the card. But nonetheless, the first match on the show, steel cage match, Shawn Spears versus Wardlow. This wasn't much to it. This was kind of theatrical, but so what? I mean, it was not good for a steel cage match, I would say, but I guess it is purpose. So MJF came out, of course, special guest referee, came out in a ref shirt. Then Shawn Spears, he wore this dark mask and had this dark symbol on the chair. I mean, really had his war face on, or his game face. Wardlow then was escorted and to the ring, to the cage. So he got into the cage, and MJF, kind of basically similar to Double or Nothing when Wardlow similarly turned on MJF, or Revolution. So, of course, at Revolution, Wardlow faded, not being able to find the ring. And MJF this time, when it was time to unlock the key or unlock the cuffs of Wardlow, MJF all of a sudden couldn't find the key for MJF's cuff or Wardlow's cuffs. So right off the bat, cheap shots in by Spears. And attacked by MJF. You knew this wasn't going to be a regular one-on-one steel cage match. Of course, this was a handicap match for the most part. So, Wardlow was on the offense. He actually managed to break and rip off the cuffs with his pure strength. And MJF's face. Now, what I did not like, first part I did not like about this match. Excalibur noted that if Wardlow put his hands on MJF, it would be a disqualification. And it's a cage match. It's a steel cage match. Now, I'm not sure if that was a slip up or if that was actually true, but they played into it. That was one part I did not like. So, Wardlow was on the offensive. He threw Spears in the cage a couple times. They were on the top rope. Spears was dropped. Wardlow hit a senton. And then MJF, of course, did not count the pin. He was grinning in Wardlow's face like a prick. So, there's that. But, so then Wardlow went for the Powerbomb Symphony. But then, similar to last week, Wardlow gets hit with a blow below the belt by MJF. Spears actually hit the C4. And MJF went for a fast count and Wardlow kicked out. So there's that. So then Spears was frustrated, and another part I did not like was usually steel cage matches are supposed to keep outside parties out of the match. Spears went out of the cage, went out the door very easily. Very easily. He did kind of struggle. I'm not sure if there was a chain there or it's just. Ay. So he went out the door. And I'm not sure why he didn't do this. Because he came out first. He got a chair. One of the chairs he took with him to the ring. Brought the chair in the ring. And MJF was holding up Wardlow for a chair shot from Spears. Wardlow ducks. And MJF gets creamed over the head with a steel chair shot from Shawn Spears. So, MJF out like a light. Shawn Spears is obviously beside himself for what he did. Great spot. So, Wardlow rises up, and just like that, it's not good. Powerbomb Symphony by Wardlow. And then the final emphatic powerbomb by Wardlow on a chair that Spears brought in. Bryce Rensburg He came in the ring, counted 1, 2, 3. Wardlow wins and gets the victory, and will face MJF at Double or Nothing Sunday. And if Wardlow wins, free from his contract, and does not, and officially is with AEW. I mean, obviously, I voiced my displeasures about this match, but I was kind of hoping, I will say, with MJF out from the chair shot after the Powerbomb Symphony, the spot when Stone Cold faced, I believe, Dude Love, and Vince was the special guest referee, where Stone Cold used Vince McMahon's hands when he was out to count the pin. So I was kind of hoping for that, but nonetheless, Wardlow gets a victory, and should be a fun match, interesting match to look forward to. You know, Wardlow's been so hot as of late with his push. MJF, we know, is great. He's one of the pillars of AEW. You know, if I know the stipulations and with all, Wardlow has to win. That's the way it seems. And MJF, you don't want to see him losing a big match. But considering the way it seems with CM Punk, I can sort of get that he can slide this loss in, and perhaps we get MJF winning the title over Punk when the time comes. I can get it. So, Jericho Appreciation Society and the Wizard, Chris Jericho. So, they were backstage minus Jake Hager, discussing their opponents against the Arena Anarchy, or Anarchy in the Arena match on Sunday. They stumbled across a stadium or a staff member backstage. And 2.0, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker, they stumbled across this guy wearing a Jon Moxley shirt. And Jericho threw a fireball in this poor kid's face. The Wizard strikes at it again. CM Punk, Hangman Page. This was a fun face-to-face out in the ring before Double or Nothing. You know, this was Hangman. I understand. Or at least I get people criticizing his title reign to an extent. And the way he's been as of late, this whole seriousness of Hangman has been great, and he just recently passed Chris Jericho for AEW World Title runs, but I really enjoyed this face-to-face between Punk and Page. So, Tony Schiavone was in the ring. He introduced both. So, first he went, offered the mic to Punk. And Punk was being very respectful. And he claimed that, well, he respects Hangman and that at Double or Nothing, he plans to walk in, challenger, and walk out the champion. So Paige got the microphone claiming that, well, he means what he said a couple weeks ago, and saying that at Double or Nothing, he will beat, he will annihilate, and he will embarrass Punk. And this bravado, this, vibe by Paige, it was just very, personal for him. And Punk said, I don't know why you're taking this all too personal, saying I respect you. And Paige said it would have been so easy to do a pipe bomb like Punk's at the top of the stage, roll it around to Punk and watch it blow up in his face. But he said no, he's not going to do that. He says he knows of what Punk has done up until then. But he says he doesn't care. He says that at the Nothing, he's not defending the title against him. He says he's defending AEW against CM Punk. Punk then said, well, we'll see, but giving him a little lesson, saying the roads he traveled to get here and what he did to help build AEW, he gave Punk gave him the blueprint. He said the trees he made to get here were based on the mark he made. Saying he paved the way for the guys to get here for AEW. And, there was a little back and forth. Punk said, well, you won't shake my hand at Double or Nothing. And he said, why not you shake my hand right now? So they shoved each other. And Hangman decked Punk with the right hand. Punk smirked. Hangman walked off. Fun back and forth, It's going to be some contest on Sunday. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston First time these two have paired up in a while. Versus Private Party with Jericho and Regal on commentary. This was a decent little match here. Good to see Private Party back. Have not seen Isaiah Cassidy in a while, so good to see Private Party back on TV. But this was a relatively short match. Quinn hit a moonsault on Moxley to start. Then Private Party on the outside, so Quinn hit a Tope con Hero, taking out Moxley, and a twisting Tope by Cassidy took out Kingston. They followed up with a stunner, along with a shooting star by Quinn for a near fall on Mox. At the end of the match, so they got into the ring, Blackpool Combat Club style. Kingston had the stretch plum on Mark Quinn. Moxley drilled Cassidy with the paradigm shift 1, 2, 3, and there was that. A brawl ensued afterwards between the JAS, Blackpool Combat Club, Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and it was good to see Bryan back out there, knowing that this match will happen. He didn't seem to be favoring his leg at all, so that was a very good sign. But yeah, this match will be chaotic, that's for sure, on Sunday. FTR versus Roppongi Vice. This was a good match. The ending, really caught people off guard. But in hindsight, not really. Because Forbidden Door is in a month. So, kind of figured either this week or next week, the build has to start for Forbidden Door. So that you were kind of thinking, well, they gotta put some innuendos out there. And well, they started tonight. But this match is good for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Always good to hear Bobby Cruz. It's a good little refresher. Of course, the voice of Ring of Honor. And Caprice Coleman, he joined commentary as well. But yeah, this is good. So, Dax, after a bunch of attack on Cash, got the hot tag. Ran roughshod on Roppongi Vice. Vice fired back with a double team combination, a missile drop kick off the top rope, or to Dax while he's hanging on the top rope. Right knee strike for a near fall. They had a good exchange of pins between the match. Vice hit the Trunk Zero for a near fall. It looked like Rocky Romero may have slipped or he undershot it. But yeah, they hit Shrunk Zero. And then out of nowhere, we don't usually see disqualifications in AEW, which is another good thing here. I believe the last time we saw a disqualification was MJF and Lee Johnson or Shawn Dean. But the Great Khan and Jeff Cobb, who we have not seen on AEW television since right before the pandemic, when he was a mercenary for the Inner Circle and Chris Jericho. This was out of the blue, definitely, and great to see. Great attack by the United Empire of Jeff Cobb and Grail Khan. So that was great to see. So they attacked the tag teams and just wreaked havoc. Cobb powerbombed Dax Harwood and the Timekeeper's table. O'Khan, he threw Trent off the steps through one of the tables on the outside, so they just wreaked havoc. Grabbed the Ring of Honor tag team titles, held them high in the air, signaling that United Empire want a match. United Empire versus FTR at Forbidden Door. I would like to see. And the other thing, Will Ospreay is, I haven't watched New Japan in a while, but I think he's aligned with United Empire. So, him or with United Empire's attack, maybe that opens the door for a Will Ospreay to enter the fold for Forbidden Door. I have to check again, but nonetheless, should be interesting. Now, I mean, that's it. The other thing. So, Rampage is live on Friday. So, perhaps we get another debut or return Forbidden Door related. Maybe that's why it's also live. That's just a thought. But a good match, and I understand the result. Gotta start building towards next month. So, FTR for United Empire, I'm good to see. The Hardys, they were backstage. So, they talked about their match with the Bucks at Double or Nothing, saying, yes, they're past their prime. Yes, they may be over the prime. But Jeff said it only makes this final run more important, and said that Young Bucks will be stepping stones on the road to becoming the AEW World Tag Team Champions in their final run on GOAT status for tag teams. Matt said it didn't matter when, but we're always going to be better than you. And he said, sometimes, they say don't meet your heroes because they'll sometimes disappoint you. Matt said, well, they'll be disappointed on Sunday, knowing that they cannot beat the Hardys. Should be a unique match at double. Because it will be the first time in AEW this match will be happening. Probably the only time. We've seen it happen a couple times at Ring of Honor, etc. But this will be unique. And with that little innuendo of tag team titles, could be a foreshadowing, and we'll see. Should be a unique little match, though, for Sunday. For the 29th in Vegas. So yeah, Ricky starts next. Jungle Boy and Swerve Strickland triple threat. This was a chaotic match. Very back and forth, very all over the place, but good little preview. I mean, this match was meant to be a preview of what's to come on Sunday when you had the big man left to match. But this was good, so after a bunch of back and forth, so Jungle Boy hit Hurricanrana to Swerve from the inside ring to the outside. Then hit a sliding lariat in the ring for 2. I was worried they were going to do a Tower of Doom spot. They were all perched on the top rope. Starks was shoved off the top rope to the outside. He was clutching his wrist. Seemed to be okay, but a little worried for a sec. So, Swerve went for a suplex on Jungle Boy, but was met with a spear by Starks. Big spear. Off the ropes, Jungle Boy got hit with a mid-choke driver by Starks for a near fall. Starks then hit Rochambeau on Swerve. Ricky was pulled back in the ring by Jungle Boy. Walked in the snare trap. Ricky did not tap out. All of a sudden, Swerve hits Jungle Boy and then hits a diving foot stomp, the Swerve stomp on Starks for the win. And Swerve gets his victory. Afterwards, the big man came out. Lee, Luchasaurus, and Hobbs. They had a little exchange. Keith Lee hit twisting plancha on the outside. I was worried he may have banged his head off the mat, but he seemed to be okay. And Keith Lee and Swerve stand tall in the middle of the ring after this. Sadly, it probably does not bode well for them at the pay-per-view. I would love to see Starks and Hobbs get the gold, but it's a weird predicament because with what they've been teasing the last couple weeks with Christian Cage, we'll see how it goes, but should be an exciting match nonetheless. The Man of the Year and Dan Lambert, they were backstage. So Dan Lambert said that to Silver Sky, don't worry, they will have a new TNT Championship main, and they will have a championship celebration on Friday for Rampage. Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, can only tell they're gonna mess this up. Thunder Rosa, I did like this. Thunder Rosa, she was out there on stage. Tony Schiavone cut this fiery promo. So, we know with Thunder Rosa, we know half of her face is covered in war paint. She did not have any war paint on. She was just there in herself. She wanted to show herself, saying, this is what the champion looks like. This is what she says she used to look up to Serena Deeb, but not anymore. She said that on Sunday she'll teach Serena Deeb a lesson in respect for Toni, for Dustin, for her teacher. That's what I was looking for. Her teacher, Dustin, our mentor, and says that it will haunt her, or she will haunt Serena Deeb forever. Very good promo by Thunder Rosa. Says that the war paint will go on Sunday. So yeah, well, see how it goes. No, it's gonna be a good match, but yeah. Red Velvet, she was backstage. She was confronted by Ruby Soho. Velvet basically gave Ruby a playbook on Chris Statlander, saying that Chris has a bad shoulder and a bad knee, so something to look forward to. I'll say what I'm about to say after this match, but I can kind of get a glimpse on what may happen in the finals. A little idea. So, Toni Storm versus Britt Baker. Semifinals in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So, this was a decent match. We know both can bring it. Toni Storm actually had her nose busted in this match. You know, I'm all curious if it affected things, but yeah, this could have been better. Could have been better. But decent match here. The finish had people kind of confused. So they were fighting on the outside start, and then Tornado DT by Storm on the outside. So then back in the ring, Britt hit a air crash for a near fall. And then Jamie Hayter came out. Felt kind of strange, so a swing neckbreaker by Britt. Then Toni Storm actually hit another tornado DT. But the finish match came strange. So Toni Storm mentioned many times, can Britt win a match without her help, or without her friends' help, without Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Hayter was out there and felt kind of sloppy. The finish, Britt, there were exchange of roll-ups. Britt had a high stack on Toni Storm. 1, 2, 3, she had the ropes, and just like that, Britt gets a win. And yeah, moves on to Double or Nothing. Like Toni Storm said, can you win a match without your backup? That was not the case tonight. Yes, Britt won, but so in a way she won with Jamie Hayter's help. And people were confused. I get it by this finish. Felt kind of lackluster. Britt once again wins with her backup. I love Britt. She's great. I love Toni Storm. She's great too. This ending had a bit to be desired. Now, my thoughts though. So, based on what happened Friday, and based on what happened here, here's where I think I can kind of get a grasp on where they're going with this. So, my thinking is, okay, Chris thrusted into the tournament. Chris Statlander, she seemingly is teasing a feud with Jade Cargill. Chris, now, many were probably pegging Toni Storm to win this thing. But now with Chris, with the winner of each tournament seemingly going to get something in return, I imagine a title match. I imagine that Chris beats Ruby on Rampage, goes to Double or Nothing, gonna face Britt Baker, Chris will avenge a loss to Ruby Soho. And then on Sunday, from a green match at All Out, Chris will avenge a loss to Britt Baker and wins the match and then gets I assume, a TBS title shot. That's my thinking. But yeah, should be. That's my thinking after seeing what's been happening as of late. Now, Ruby, I could see Britt, Britt first on the Rosa, we've seen that a few times, and just with how the champions are, I mean, it wouldn't be right for Britt to win, considering it's like, okay, we've seen Britt for Thunder Rosa quite a few times. Probably don't want to see it for a good while again. And then Jade Cargill, she's a heel. So, I can see where it's kind of going, but we'll see. And I mean, you want to build, I guess, the biggest match you can imaginable. And Britt, she's the star, basically, of the division for now. Thunder Rosa says she wants to be the face of AEW. She still has a ways to go, but Britt, as far as the division go, is the star in match. So I can get it why they went the route they did. It's just the finish and whatnot was uneasy. This was a very good main event though. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. Owen Hart semifinal. The winner faced Adam Cole at Double Nothing in the finals. But yeah, this was very good match. Both guys, both very submission based, both, more of a fight. This was handled better than the Adam Cole Jeff Hardy match last week, obviously. I'm just grateful we didn't have a dud finish like we did last week. But yeah, this was a good match. So O'Reilly was targeting Joe's shoulder from the pipe attack from Jay Lethal last week. So then it was also targeting the knee of Joe. Joe was a bit in agony throughout this match. They were fighting on the outside. O'Reilly was sitting on this chair in the corner on the outside. Joe hit a running boot, which clocked O'Reilly. And then this one guy who was taking photos, it was a bit hilarious. So, Joe still favoring his shoulder. Back in the ring, hit a tongue drop, big boot, and a senton for a near fall. He hit big lariat, taking O'Reilly inside out. The end of the match came, so O'Reilly had some offense. Went for a roll up out of the corner or off the ropes. Joe countered right into a rear naked choke. O'Reilly tried his best to prevent the hold, but Joe lucked in and O'Reilly passed out. Samoa Joe will face Adam Cole at Double or Nothing. Should be another first time ever. Should be May still the show. May still the show. Should be fun. It's a funny little thing that Adam Cole and his baby Britt Baker can both win their separate Owen Hart Cup tournaments. It's a little funny there, but Adam Cole came out on the stage, had a little words for Samoa Joe. Stage is set. The stage is set. Boy, Double or Nothing is gearing up to be something. So we got Samoa Joe for Sam Cole. We got the Anarchy in the rematch. Thankfully now Bryan Danielson is okay. Britt Baker for either Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander. Of course, I'm predicting Statlander. We got the three-way tag team title match. Should be banger as well. And a J for Jay Cargill. And we got on the buy-in the tag team match of Hookhausen. Serena Deeb versus Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa. MJF versus Wardlow. And the main event, Hangman Page versus CM Punk. It's gearing up to be something. It is Double or Nothing. Can't wait. But yeah, nonetheless, that's the episode for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, be back on Saturday for Rampage, and then Monday afternoon should be a round 2 or 3 ish, a Double or Nothing review. But nonetheless, thank you all. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. Help out the video. Yeah, Double or Nothing is looking to be very swell, very swell. So look forward to that. Gracias. Thank you. I made you in love. I'm getting out of here. Peace. See you Saturday.